Hello everyone, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, Intuitive Soul Alignment Coach here, and we are here for my Mastering Your Soul's Gift interview series with all the beautiful entrepreneurs and beautiful stories that people are sharing about their journey, about being in alignment, not being in alignment, and sharing more about their vulnerable stories about how they got there, how they got aligned to what they are doing now today, how they get aligned to your genius. And so today we have beautiful Meilin Ehlke, who is here to share with us with her beautiful wisdom soul, her perspective. And so why don't we start with you, like just telling us more about who you are, what you do, and how did you really become more of a genius of what you do? Like, what was the journey that got you there?
Well, hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Leimomi. My name is Meilin, and I'm living myself in a way. My journey is uncovering what I'm all about, and by uncovering what I'm all about, I mention sometimes it's like when you go to college. In college you learn something and then you do your work. Yeah, and this is now the other way around. So my life has been, what am I learning every day that reminds me what I'm already doing? So, and then what it brought me to on my journey, because the last few years I really wanted to express what brings me onto this earth. What is my larger purpose, not just my purpose? And when you said align, I think about it really, what is my spiritual purpose? What is the purpose, or who am I from the view of the being that is 14 billion years old, that is now in Meilin form, here on this beautiful blue planet. Yeah, so, and this is what is driving me every single time or every single day, and that brings me into living my interest in supporting people, in healing, in shamanism, in nature, in understanding how energy moves, how I function, the medical side, but also the psychic of people, or how we interact with each other. So, or the arts, how do we paint or channel them? And all these things came together so that I now support people in being just themselves. So very similar to your work of having fun and enjoying every moment, seeing this earth as their playground. Yeah, of bringing the work or really doing what they're here to do from the spiritual purpose, and remembering that and emanating it out through our whole body, using this body. That's what I support people with, them just living themselves, but fully and with intensity. I think that's missing often.
So when you're like growing up as a child, what kind of like lit you up? Like, how does that have to play into what you have become today?
Animals lit me up. Walking outside in nature still lights me up. Love to connect and use nature as a metaphor often. I think nature brings wisdom, and I can use it very beautiful to explain how we act, and sharing the idea of the one mind or the one voice, or of the one light, right? That we are all connected to the animal kingdom, the plants, and the humans, and beyond. People, seeing people smile. I think this is still what drives me every day. Why do I do my work? Why do I connect with people? Why do I speak to them or do healing sessions? It is seeing how the facial expressions change, and the smile and the light in their eyes. Yeah, how they start to glow. That is what I thought about often. How do people function? when I was more in my teenager years. I remember sitting with my father in cafes and talking about what makes the person move or do things that just passed our table or something like that. Yeah, and the interest in the living.
Yeah, you definitely have a unique perspective of how you see everything. You see everything as a whole, and you talk about like the very simple things that like we never really think about. And I think like being able to be in touch with such, I think being in touch with oneness of everything is like what we're really missing in the world.
Yeah, it is what is, I think, questions of why wars are happening in this world, right? There is this seeking, and why do we follow a certain group, or I'm speaking now as humans. There is a need of community, I believe very strongly, that we support each other, or that we can just be seen or heard, or just be embraced. And this feeling is missing in many, many cultures around the globe. And getting this information that we are already a beautiful being, that we are, I don't want to, people use maybe the word enough, that we are enough, but really we're more than enough. We're infinite, very, very creative people. But our social settings or the power structures for thousands of years have pushed down or taken away freedom of us, have taken away the teachings, the sacred old teachings. You're lucky in Hawaii, you're much closer, you've lived them much more here in Germany, where now my generation is saying, this is enough. We want to find our roots. And I think this is going on all over the world. Where do we come from? What are the roots of our community, of our society, of our family, of our tribe? So we can get answers. And I think there then we'll find many secrets of how we were once really connected to all the people on this earth, communicating via telepathy, but also connected to all the star nations, because we're not just here for a few years and that's it. So I don't believe that. That we're always in communication and that we can feel each other. So I think that's what we're going to learn on a grander scale from all different people, from all healers like us, or wisdom keepers. And it'll be interesting. It's a very interesting time at the moment.
Yeah, it is for sure. So tell us like a little bit more about like your background or any vulnerable stories that you may have about your life or your business. What did it feel like to be misaligned, and like how did you get back into soul alignment? Like what were the things that got you more into alignment into your work right now?
Good question. As a child, I was very aligned. My mother is starting to remember a lot and tell me as I question her as well. So then I was in tune. I knew where not to walk because there would be an accident happening. I would know what feeling, or my parents had friends that had accidents. I could tell them that they don't have to worry because this and that. Then I get a little misaligned, maybe through school, or there was also trauma in me of observing how I walk, growing up a little bit as a young woman. I have cerebral palsy, so that I pulled back, afraid people wouldn't see me as I wanted to be seen. That went in unison with not having connections to others, star beings. I'm very connected to star beings. And taking that on, that some of them didn't want to be seen. So I retracted, and then only in my 30s, over college, when I studied, I studied a little business. I went then to the US from Germany to study landscape architecture and veterinary medicine. That's where I brought a few interests back that were within me, yeah, and I was able to combine that and bring some business aspects. But there was still something missing. So really after college, when I wanted to look more at my body, I wanted once an operation to make my leg longer. And luckily I didn't do it a week before. I said, no, stupid me. I'm not going to cut up anything that is functioning fantastic. And that brought me then to a chiropractor, to a Rolfer, you know, slowly opening me through my body or physically or tactile impulses on my body, more to the spiritual realm or the metaphysical, because suddenly there were things you couldn't prove with science. At that time also living in Atlanta with this very strong crystal energy, awakening energy that was at that time in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, and then, you know, what was another big thing was my cats. My cats moved me really quick in believing when I found a woman who does shamanic healing for animals. I picked up a book one day. So yeah, I'm very aligned. My body moves me, but I had to become aware and recognize it. Yeah, so I tell everyone right now, really observe where your body moves you. Your body is very aligned, and as you open up, become aware where it's leading you, where it's making you step. Right? So I'm learning that too. Animals. Dogs especially, they don't go a straight line. They follow the energy lines. Young children, since I have a young child, you have one, Leimomi. They walk zigzag, but why do they zigzag? Why don't they go right across the designed path? You know, as a landscape architect, I learned now, they follow the energy lines that are in the ground. It makes them move much quicker and with less energy. So that's something for us to align to as well. So the cat, suddenly I heard them that she would die when I'm gone, and I'm living with that cat 17 years. So I said, I can't go on this trip, you know, I was highly pregnant and going to get married. And so I communicated, I asked this woman the shaman to speak with my cat. And that's when I heard for the first time that there's a different realm, how the cat was healed, and that she knew things about my apartment no one would know, that I have a huge blue wall and a brown cat. You know, at the end, she said, oh no, a brown cat came into your apartment. I said, wow, yeah. So it made me aware. And then after I noticed everything happened, as this woman told me, as my cat deceased, I became very curious in how this healing could take place. And then I studied shamanism for animals, and then when I came to Germany, shamanism for people. And that's also when I learned more about myself, and also by my son when he was born, about 11 years ago now. He moves me to really live my truth. And I observe him, to really listen to him, observe him, what he has to say. Because the young children, they come already with new insights. They're so in tune. You can see how they relate, and they don't worry about most of the things we worry about, or I worry about. It's fantastic to observe. So all of these steps, you see, step by step, made me more aligned. And then, you know, like you have helped me align with myself again. There are many other things where I had an idea, how do I get there? This impulse of this ancient wisdom, how does energy function? I knew I wanted this, but I couldn't get there. So that was really through rituals, ancient rituals, and feeling what person is right, talking about community, creating a community where we uplift each other. So when I felt, I'm going to use, you know, suddenly in the middle of the night I was filling out your all the questions. I'm not a writer. I was surprised if I knew there is something more to you. And well, see, in the middle of that. And that's aligned me over and over, finding what people do I want to be close to, what people do I want to learn from, who brings the wisdom that I'm missing. And it is like a Lego tower, right? You build on a build, it becomes bigger and bigger until there is this one moment, then you know you're aligned. Suddenly, every moment you live, it feels right. You speak different. I think I read that somewhere in YouTube. You said that as well. Once it's a different dedication behind it. It's a whole body. There's a whole force moving you, and you know the environment attaches or plays with you. That's why I speak often about a playground. Then you know you're aligned. Whatever you envision, yeah, that's why I speak often. When I lead myself, when I live my rhythm, my style, my Meilin style, then I believe in my vision, as you do. You also very strongly believe there's in your vision, right? And that pulls us. And so we just go. We walk. We walk. There's nothing that holds us back. And people will notice that. And then they just follow.
Yes. I love how you describe that whole process. From watching your body, what your body is saying, seeing the people around you, what they are saying, like the animals, your son, the cats, like everybody is showing you your unique flow. And then at some point you just get into some rhythm and you feel that rhythm of that momentum of a direction. You follow the direction, and it usually ends up where it's supposed to go anyway.
Yeah.
And then you end up there, and then there's just this moment of like, yep, there it is. It's clarity. It's like flow. It's disalignment. It's like the best way you can describe it, right? And I think that journey needs to take place so you can really feel into the energy of your soul and how your body, your mind, and your soul need to move together. Because it's kind of like, if you don't have your spirit in alignment and your body and your mind, then they're kind of like not, they're not in sync. So yeah. When your body, your mind, and your spirit, they start to sync, then that's when that kind of like flow just happens.
Yeah. And what is our body? It is our expression on this plane. Yeah. And even if we leave it at night to go into other planes, when we sleep, or some of us can do it even moving around. But this is the most beautiful thing we have, right? And we already numb ourselves by not seeing this beauty, by not utilizing it, not respecting it. The moment we don't respect it, yeah, in a way we don't respect us and anything else. So there's a way in feeling, when we start feeling, observing, and in a way looking at it differently again, and seeing the beauty in every little line, yeah, or in the hair, to see that our hair is like our antennas, yeah, where we take in information, and we shouldn't always keep on cutting it. Yeah, your tradition, luckily, you keep it much longer, and even the men, our society, we cut the information off, and the memory. It's really interesting. That's a whole new topic. How we miss the mind just by a process on a regular every 6 weeks. You should think about it. Yeah. So, but the body and to feel and to take the time to feel it and to nourish it and to give it the best foods we can. And we don't have to do like strong exercise and we don't have to punish ours like or overdo it, you know, these extreme sports as well, because then there's too much energy being used to form it. So what is really your most pleasant form where we need less energy, then we get moved also the easiest, the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you suddenly can go up a mountain because you get yourself be drawn by the mountain or another tree. They pull us. We connect to them, right? We connect to them and then they pull us. We like that vision. And we barely need energy. It happened very extremely a few times for me in the mountains. Suddenly I'm like, I don't know, I always seem like a Native American running and bringing a message to some place, but he has to run for 100 kilometers. Suddenly, when you go in that alignment, that is even, then you feel it. And I wish for people to really feel alignment. It's not just a metaphysical idea, yeah, or a business slogan. It is really, you can physically feel it. It's like you link in, it's like you pop in and you just can move. And everything you want to create, you create a reality for it. You manifest your idea and it materializes. And I think it's been used so often, people don't believe in it anymore. And it is for us now to find ancient memory, to find the sacred places on this earth, and find our culture and the people that carry these messages. Also to realign and make it easier, this search. Because I think, Leimomi, yes, I had a long search. It took me 50 years. Every moment had to happen, yeah. But also I think there are people that can accelerate it when we live these rituals again. And then it can go really, really fast. Then we can, in a few months, it can happen. It doesn't have to be a year-long journey.
Yes, I agree. I think that's the whole part of that journey of like learning how that flow really works within your body and your own time clock, right? Yeah. Like being okay that like, yeah, my body is tired and respecting that it's tired to, you know, going after what you really want, but doing it in a way that's very soulful, that's like for your soul's growth, right? So when you feel kind of like those times where you're questioning yourself, or you kind of feel like giving up, like what really like helps you to feel like to keep going in that right direction? Because I know like when you're kind of like not in sync and you feel that like, oh my God, like I don't know how to get back into that alignment feeling, right? Like what do you do when you feel that like that's not very clear, and what keeps you going?
Yeah, there are different levels to it. I don't know, I'm always aligned, so that's, but there come these other times, you know, where we get sad or we think we're doing something wrong, or because our timeline is a little different, we want things to happen faster, but often we have to wait right for our surrounding, for the people around us, when we even change or heal things, until material moves. It's a very dense plane here. So we always have this density that restricts us, right? And even here, then the body pulls together again. I go with it. Often I go with it because surprising things come out of it. For example, if I'm sad, I'm really happy that I'm sad. It's a really interesting thing. I feel the joy in the sadness because it's like an uncovering of something. But in that time, I'm not going to push myself to create. Then I am the creation. I'm looking at my creation. I sleep. I go into nature. if I would be on the ocean, I would go right into the water. I'm a very fluent being. In Germany, I have to take a salt bath or something. So these are things. Getting together with people that are in the moment, it's easy for them to raise their vibration. So I maybe call a friend. I dance. I bring my own vibration up. This is the fastest way. It's really just then bringing up. But sometimes I just want to be down there. In a way, I want to feel this because then sometimes I can, if I've really felt that deeply and strongly, it catapults me afterwards. You may have experienced that too. It is like thing, and it's like, and then it catapults, and then I have so much energy for a while, and then I create, and then it doesn't work. What it really is at the time, we're not misaligned, but the misalignment thing is where we uncreate. We uncreate and destroy realities. Sometimes they can feel very long. Sometimes I can create and uncreate within the same moment, right? You keep on going. But if there's a larger topic, a larger picture, more density and material belonging to it, it takes a little longer.
Wow, there's just so much wisdom in just what you just said. I know what you're saying, and there's just so many meanings beyond meanings of what you just said. That's just so awesome. So what advice would you give like to someone who really wants to get into their genius, like the way that you were talking about it, right? What like helped you to decide to do the work that you love? Like I know like you were just like in the flow and you just are creating it and you're just doing it, but like when someone's kind of starting off and they're not really clear about truly what they want and feeling what their actual desires are or the success that they want to create or whatever the goals are, right? What would be something that would motivate them to be like, well, this is the direction I really truly want to do and be?
Live yourself. This is really have fun and act on impulses you get. Everyone out there, if you have an idea, act on it. You would have not this thought if it wouldn't be for you. It's your thought. You created the thought, right? So it just doesn't pop in your idea like so don't put it off like, oh, that's a stupid idea or something. Please don't. Act on it. Explore it. Like, for example, when I wanted to paint, I just started. So I painted, not knowing that one day it would lead me to handling wisdom for people, right? That it is another way of expressing myself. But so much I discovered in saying yes to myself, the Meilinisch style. That I have a different rhythm than others, that I'm not so, I live different, and that is okay. And we can do it then for ourselves. Then find people that feel right, that you have fun with. When you just look at their face, you want to know more about them. Those are people to work with. Because they are right for you, not what they have. Maybe that's it. And then by step, we find, and how do you learn to feel more about yourself? Listen to your inklings, like when you feel, oh, now I would like to dance before I go out and to my office meeting, then take 2 minutes and turn on the radio and dance, and then walk out of the door, and you'll notice maybe that all the lights are green now, or there's a shortcut, or there's less traffic jams, or the other person comes late a few minutes anyway, and to stay with that, and not to pressure yourself into it, so to fuel you, to find ways how you can fuel yourself, that you enjoy yourself, that you're happy. And that brings all the answers. And if you're sad, find people, children, animals that lift you up again, or nature, go out. And the ideas come there. Don't sit somewhere and not go drink a tea and come back in a few hours, a few days, or even in a few weeks. And believe there's a really divine timing.
Totally, all the above. Yeah, I think those are the most important things. It's just like to simply see it as one step at a time. Like life is a journey. It's a game that's unfolding, that you see the parts of what it is. And during those times, like it's really about just enjoying each and every moment of whatever's showing up, where you feel like not good in yourself, like what you can change, right? When you're feeling sad, you can change to happiness. When, you're feeling excited about your new project, and then, something comes up that's not really aligned for you, then you got to walk away, right? Like, it's always like this kind of like movement. And I think that's what finding your own like inner wisdom is about, right? Like the wisdom of your soul is so ancient, it's so deep, it's so loving, it's so caring. It's the parts of ourselves that we kind of like forgot about, in our daily lives. And I think the more you just go with that rhythm, like you said, like knowing your own rhythm, just going with it, that's when everything all just goes in the right direction, I think, and into your deeper purpose.
And Kat always comes, my star girl. Star beings, and she
like,
comes.
Hello.
And the most other thing to know, everyone, we're not alone ever. Yeah, even when you sit down, so communicate. Even if you think that we have a team always around us, there's always co-creation happening, and then this feeling of loneliness can dissolve. Or if you're afraid to go into a meeting, don't worry, you're walking in with a team. There's a team behind you supporting you, and maybe you're more fine-tuned, you can communicate, but use it. Yeah, and use this connection you have, because everyone who's listening here, you're all very connected. Don't separate it. Oh, now I'm in a meditation or on a journey, and now I'm not. Bring it into your life. Live it fully. We are spiritual beings. Everything around us. Yeah, we're just now in a little more material form for the moment, but the others are still there. And bring it together, and that I think will make you give more lightness to know that we're not alone. It's very, like even a cat, she's right there and she knows exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. Saying hello to us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us to share a little bit more about, your stories and like your unique way that you've done it to get into your rhythm as a healer, as a wisdom keeper. I really love like how you spin it from a different perspective of really wholeness, like oneness, of seeing it all as oneness. We don't really talk about it like that. We always talk about everything is all separate, and you gotta do this one first and that one first, but really like seeing the trees and everything that exists, it's just that it's your own unique rhythm, right?
Yeah.
So how can we get in touch with you? And so I'm sure my listeners here are really kind of curious of more about what you do, and I know you also have a show. Maybe you can share a little bit about that too.
Oh, thank you. Yes, on my website, meilinehlke.com, you can connect with. Facebook is always a good one. I think of all the socials ones, that's what I use the most. It's aligned with me, probably. Feels the easiest and it's the most fun. Yeah, I have a radio show called Sacred Sound Surprises, where I bring a lot of my wisdom, speak about, channel through songs and sounds of many beings of our ancient societies that also have lived here on Earth, and star beings. That's a fun one. I have a cosmic conversation show like you do, similar, just conversing and bringing out our talents and speaking about them. So we see that we're here for each other. I love that as well. So that is Sacred Expression Show. So you find that on my YouTube channel, meilinehlke.com. And and I'm coming to Hawaii. So I can in August if I can make it. That will be. I promised spirits in 5 years ago to bring my son when he's 10, and that's what I'm going to do now.
Yeah, you're
I'm listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I know like we can be getting so so into our own rhythm and we kind of forget to reconnect, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for everybody for listening in. You know, in 2 weeks or so, we're having our next interview. So if you really want to know more information about, you know, Meilin and also what I do with helping people to get alignment to their soul, their, you know, create a business and a life designed to their soul, you can also visit my website at www.leimomi.com, and I share a lot of content, amazing stuff there on my YouTube channel and this show here. So I hope like by listening in, you're getting more insight and you're getting deeper understandings of how to really, really master your soul and master being the genius that you're meant to be. All right. Well, you have all a beautiful day. Aloha.
Thank you for the invitation. Bye-bye, everyone.